By you simply clicking on this video, you are learning about a loan program that I think will really change the way you invest in real estate and get you ahead of the competition. So this is just like a raw video. I'm putting it out there because the program is so important for you to know about that I'm not going to make any fancy editing. Like, we're just going to get right into it. So you heard me correctly. There's now a DSCR loan that will allow you to take cash out of a property where you do not need an appraisal. And the best part about it is you could do it all online in a portal yourself and close in less than basically a week. Okay. So this is the program that's going to put you ahead. What it is a DSCR loan for investment properties that lets you refinance or take cash out with no appraisal required under certain loan amounts. We're going to talk about that in a second. Okay. This is good for beginner to intermediate investors who want to pull cash or refi rentals without showing personal income and don't want to have to do the traditional process. Now, DSCR loans normally need an appraisal. They take about 3 to 4 weeks. They're still pretty fast because they don't look at that many documents. However, this just makes it even faster, which is kind of insane. So the details are there's no tax returns or W-2s, just like a normal DSCR loan. They do a soft pull to pre-qualify. So literally, like, you can just quickly just see how much you can take out. Okay, you are allowed to close in an LLC. They do allow you to link business bank accounts. They do a 30-year fixed rate and they close quickly. All right. I'm not going to go through all the states that they're approved in, that this portal is approved in. If you want to just pause the video and take a quick look, you can. I'm going to move on. So here's what makes this program really different. Aside from the fact that you could literally just get cash out with no appraisal, which is kind of insane. They just pull like the AVMs, right? And so the other part about it is that because you can access all through a portal, you can price, pre-qualify yourself, choose the rate, choose the terms, like you could do it all yourself. And all the fees are broken down simply. And I'll talk about what the fees are in a second. And it's very condo friendly. So if you have condos, you are allowed to take cash out of condos as well with no appraisal. All right. They're only for refinances, cash out, first lien. It has to be first lien. Okay. You cannot use this to purchase, and it is not a second lien. I have a different program that lets you do a DSCR second lien. That's different. We're talking about a first lien only DSCR refinance or cash out. Okay. For property types, you can use single family homes, condos and townhouses, and then 2 to 4 unit multifamily. Guys, like, this is huge. The fact that you can go up to a 4-unit property and take out cash with no appraisal, no income verification, that's insane. This has never existed in history, okay? And remember, it's only for investment properties. So let's talk about how to actually qualify. So they require 680 credit score. The maximum LTV is 80%, but generally speaking, I'm seeing anywhere around 65 to 75. In some cases, you can go up to 80, but just know that because there's no appraisal, the max LTV usually is limiting in some cases, but 80% in some, all right? The minimum DSCR is 1. We call it 1-to-1. So the rental income, gross income, has to cover the mortgage payment. And you need to have 3 months of reserves. That could be 401k, Roth IRA, checking savings, money market stocks, right? Robinhood. Like, it doesn't have to be in a bank account per se, but they do want to see that you have 3 months of the mortgage payment in reserves. Now, the loan amounts, minimum 75k, maximum $1 million. Guys, the maximum loan amount is $1 million. I want you to understand how powerful that is for when you have investment properties and you want to quickly take cash out. All right. When an appraisal is needed, sometimes in some cases, you do need an appraisal if the loans are above the internal threshold. Sometimes there's limits set on like how much you can take out before needing another or before needing an appraisal. Okay. If you're below that amount, the system then just automates the valuations and the rent support. But 2, if you also believe that, hey, you know what, the rental income or the appraised value I disagree with, then of course, hey, you can get an appraisal. It's not a big deal. All right. We'll get you a link to schedule and pay for that. All right. Now, what I love about this is there's pricing levers you control. Okay. The origination fee you can set at every file. All right. The higher origination fee, the lower the rate. Okay, and vice versa. The lower the origination fee, the higher the rate. So we let you pick. There's prepayment penalties, options from 2 to 5 years. Okay, so we can do a 2, 3, 4, or 5-year prepayment penalty. You can choose the rate lock if you want to lock it for 30, 45, or 60 days. And then we set up an auto pay option as well, and that can give you a small discount on the rate. All right, for the fees, it's very simple. There's just one origination fee. Okay, they do a manual notary fee, and there's no other fees. There's nothing hidden like secret, whatever, junk fees. Like, everything is literally in this electronic portal that will tell you exactly what the fees are. And one of my investors, James, said it's literally like a self-checkout that you find at a grocery store except for loans. And I really like that, so I put it in here because that is the best way I can explain it. Imagine you going to the grocery store, right? And you're checking out and you can just pick and set everything up and do it yourself. That's sort of what this is. Now, if you need help or if you want our team to do it for you, we can. That's not a problem. All right. So documents you're going to have to upload is your current mortgage statement, proof of insurance for the property, your lease agreement if you have one, okay, a letter of explanation that you're going to use this for business purposes, and then a government ID. Very, very simple. All right. Now, you're going to connect your bank account online to show reserves. All right. You can connect your insurance account as well, and then just identify you're going to verify your identity. All right. For the end-to-end timeline, you soft and you pre-qualified literally in minutes. In the first couple minutes, it's going to tell you yes or no, like you have a deal or no, you don't have a deal. Okay. Underwriting quickly reviews it. There's no appraisal, so we can close in about a week if you are responsive. And then the appraisal turn times, if we do need to have like a manual notary or if we need to have an actual appraisal depending on the deal itself, okay? But most do not require one, all right? So I have all the steps here. You put your property info, you look at the soft pull, right? They do a soft pull, then you see your pricing options if you're approved, you pick an option, you create the account, you link the accounts, you schedule the appraisal if there is one, you review and sign, and then the funds disperse, all right? So everything else is pretty straightforward. The origination fee is fixed. Your income verification limits apply here as well. So what that's saying is that if verified income or rent comes in higher than stated, the system does not increase the offer automatically. All right. So we do have to keep that in mind. And then you can use short-term rentals, right? This does apply. You do have to use those documents to prove that though. But I think this is excellent for you wanting to take cash out on a deal, move quickly. And if you just want to pay off the hard money lender too, if you want to just do like we call it a rate and term refinance, you're not taking cash out, you're just lowering the rate and paying off the hard money lender, then that's a perfect and a beautiful situation to use this program. All right. So it does not fit for primary residences, purchases, properties that are listed for sale. So you do have to take it off. And then a DSCR is below 1.0 after pricing choices. Okay. So I had an example scenario. We're not going to cover all the details here. I can send you the slides if you want, just comment below. But it's really, really simple. If you need any help, if you want to know the details on this program, I need to get you a private link exclusive to you so we can get you the details, send the pricing, you can book a quick call, or you can send us an email. All the info is going to be in the description below. And then I have my frequently asked questions that I think a lot of investors have been talking to me about, so I put it in here. You can close an LLC. It's not interest only. Do condos need questionnaires? Not in most cases. Can I refinance vacant units? Yes, as long as the DSCR works off the market rent. Okay. And then short-term rentals, the default is the market rent supports from the 1007. 1007 is like the appraiser's version of the rental income, and it's case by case as well if the lease evidence aligns. So a lot of details there. If you have any questions, just reach out to my team. Hope that helps. I made a video as well that talks about DSCR loans and what those are. So check that out if you don't quite know. But I think this is very, very powerful. Again, contact my team if you need help with anything. Thank you.